The film you will watch is based on the poem The Wasteland by T.S. Eliot. He was in the 20th century the major exponent of modern English poetry. Because of its modernism, it's all based on short episodes and fragmentations that represent the fall of Europe, despite the fact that T.S. Eliot himself denies this interpretation. Europe, in fact, had lost all his values after the First World War, and it wasn't anymore the peak of civilization, but it was now merely a wasteland. In the first part of the poem, Sibyl, immortal but spiritually dead, represents the collapse of Europe. And the second part talks about the lazy beginning of spring, followed by the memories of an Austrian rich woman that represent the collapse of the Austrian Empire. The desert picture is a reference to ecclesiastic notes took from the Bible. This adds to the poem rich religious connotation with reference to the genesis of our civilization in biblical terms. In the next part, an Irish sailor sings German lines taken from Wagner's Tristan and Isolde. The song that the Irish sailor sings, longing for his girl, portrays the memory of a cheerful past. In the fourth part, a clairvoyant, modern image of a European person left alone after the ruins of the war tells a fortune reading her tarot cards. In all this passage, there is a clear reference to the fall of Europe, even in the last part where Europeans are represented, like a crowd of people walking in a city of London, which we replace with Tehran, that talk to each other about their memories, remembering their past. Until the last part where T.S. Eliot himself declares that the reader is just an hypocrite. The Wasteland is a fatal journey of Western civilizations from Greece to Rome to North Europe until the industrial London trapped in the ruins of the war. The Wasteland, it's the story of the wasteland, the story of a land desire to be born again.
Nam sibillam quidem cumis, ego, ipse oculis mei sfidi, in ampulla pendere, et cum illi pueri dicere. Sibula, tita eleis? Respondebat illa, aposanein celo.
The burial of the dead. April is the cruelest month, breeding lilacs out of the dead land, mixing memory and desire, stirring dull roots with spring rain. Winter kept us warm, covering earth in forgetful snow, feeding a little life with dried tubers. Summer surprised us, coming over the Starnberger See with a shower of rain. We stopped in the colonnade and went on in sunlight into the Hofgarten and drank coffee and talked for an hour. Bin gar keine Russin, stamm aus Litauen, echt Deutsch. And when we were children, staying at the Archduke's, my cousin's, he took me out on a sled and I was frightened. He said, Marie, Marie, hold on tight. And down we went. In the mountains, there you feel free. I read much of the night and go south in the winter. What are the roots that clutch? What branches grow out of this stony rubbish? Son of man, you cannot say or guess, for you know only a heap of broken images where the sun beats. And the dead tree gives no shelter, the cricket no relief, and the dry stone no sound of water. Only there is shadow under this red rock. Come in under the shadow of this red rock, and I will show you something different from either your shadow at morning striding behind you, or your shadow at evening rising to meet you. I will show you fear in a handful of dust. Frisch weht der Wind der Heimat zu, Meinierisch Kind, wo weilest du? You gave me hyacinths first a year ago. They called me the Hyacinth Girl. Yet, when we came back late from the hyacinth garden, your arms full and your hair wet, I could not speak, and my eyes failed. I was neither living nor dead, and I knew nothing. Looking into the heart of light, the silence. Öd und leer das Meer. Madame Sosostris, famous clairvoyante, had a bad cold. Nevertheless is known to be the wisest woman in Europe with a wicked pack of cards. Here, said she, is your card, the drowned Phoenician sailor. Those are pearls that wear his eyes. Look. Here is Belladonna, the lady of the rocks, the lady of situations. Here is the man with 3 staves, and here the wheel. And here is the one-eyed merchant. And this card, which is blank, is something he carries on his back, which I am forbidden to see. I do not find the hanged man. Fear death by water. I see crowds of people walking round in a ring. Thank you. If you see dear Mrs. Equitone, tell her I bring the horoscope myself. One must be so careful these days. Unreal city. Under the brown fog of a winter dawn, a crowd flowed over London Bridge. So many I had not thought death had undone so many. Sighs, short and infrequent, were exhaled, and each man fixed his eyes before his feet. Flowed up the hill and down King William Street, to where St. Mary Woolnoth kept the hours with a dead sound on the final stroke of 9. There I saw one I knew and stopped him, crying, Stetson, you who were with me in the ships at Miley, that corpse you planted last year in your garden, has it begun to sprout? Will it bloom this year? Or has the sudden frost disturbed its bed? Oh, keep the dog far hence that's friend to men, or with his nails he'll dig it up again. You, hypocrite lecteur, mon semblable, mon frère,